Hi everyone, hope you're good, and thank you for joining me for Wellness Wednesday. Today we are going to go through wellness throughout the Christmas period. I think a lot of people, Christmas can be such a wonderful time, especially when you've got kids and family around you, but it can also be a really difficult time for a lot of people, even for those that are looking forward to Christmas. I think a lot of people spend a lot of time kind of dwelling on whether the year has been as successful as they wanted it to be. You've got people kind of feeling a bit of overwhelm from a financial perspective of presents and comparing yourself to others. You've also got the kind of reflection of loss and people that aren't there throughout the Christmas period. So I just thought I would do just a quick live just with some tips and hopefully some helpful value to you guys. To just get through the Christmas period, to really reflect and look at the positives instead of the negatives, trying to not hold yourself to account in too many ways, and hopefully just some tips and hints that are going to just hopefully make a difference for you to be able to get through the period. If it's just a period that just is not a happy time for you, that's okay. There's no problem with that. And sometimes actually there's ways that you can kind of not see as much or not be too involved, and it's trying to not compare yourself to others and things like that. So hopefully even if I can give someone one kind of tip of value and you can take it away and it makes a difference, then it's worth every minute of me kind of sharing my knowledge on here. So so the first thing that I would mention is obviously your mindset is absolutely key to anything and everything that you are going to do throughout life and throughout the Christmas period and just in general. So just always be mindful that your mind is always going to try and overtake maybe how you feel. It's going to try and protect you. It's going to try and keep you in your comfort zone and stuff. So if you feel like you're in a negative mindset, it will only start to kind of avalanche if you keep fueling with negativity or talking to yourself in a negative way. So the moment you start to be mindful about what you say to yourself in your mind will have such a huge impact on how you feel and how you approach things in general. So just be mindful. Your mindset is key to everything, and you can change it from a positivity but also from negativity as well. So just be mindful of that throughout the time, because there's going to be so many times and periods, and you're going to look at Instagram and you're going to see people talking about all the wonderful things they're doing, and you might feel like you're not doing enough. There might be stuff where you're posting stuff and then you're feeling anxious that other people are thinking, oh, why are they doing so much? So it's like this whole ripple effect of things that happen. So just try to be mindful that your mindset is going to kind of control you throughout this period, and you can take control of that mindset. So that's what I'm going to try and get some hints and tips for you throughout. So hopefully that's going to be helpful. Lots of points throughout the year for reflection, but Xmas is quite a big deal to many. So I mentioned right at the beginning, a lot of people, even myself and many others, spend, especially between Christmas and New Year, it's very much a time of reflection. Have I done enough? What have I achieved? How I feel, what's happening around me, the things that have and haven't happened. So it can be quite an emotional time. So try and take it easy on yourself and try not to overwhelm yourself too much with too much like comparisons or beating yourself up with a stick. Try and focus on the stuff that has happened, focus on things that have made a difference, and focus on all of the good things that are within your life. So that's going to allow you to feel more positive than it is focusing on the things that haven't done, because you can always change that in the future. The future is always there. So keep focusing on what you have, what is around, and the people that are around you that love you for who you are. And with those that you're reflecting of, those if you've lost anybody, especially throughout this year and it's your first time, just remember all the good things. Try not to think about what's not there. Try to think about all of the traditions that were there when they were around, or the things that they would say, or the things that would make you laugh, and the positivity that it would bring to you. So try and always hold things in a positive way if you can. And I know it's easier said than done, without a doubt, and you feel positive and then almost instantly you feel negative because you want that positivity to still be around you. So it's going to be a hard couple of kind of days and a hard period, especially as we're ramping up now. We've only got a week, haven't we, until Christmas. So just try to not allow yourself to overwhelm yourself in your mind. Try not to take too much on and feel you're hours with distractions, which actually could then create more overwhelm. So try and take it easy on yourself. Allow yourself to feel how you're going to feel, but also try and stick to the positives and try and focus on the good stuff and the good things that are happening throughout, because there's always going to be something that you can pick a hole in. It doesn't matter where you are or what you're doing. There's always something that's not going right or things that could be better. But there's loads of things that are probably going right, or things that you've achieved this year that you've never thought would happen. So New Year, as we mentioned, obviously it brings a lot of anxiety. People feel anxious about actually the year ahead. So a lot of people, so you might spend the kind of front end of Christmas reflecting, thinking about what the year that's just happened, but a lot of people start to feel anxious about the year ahead if they're not in a position where they want to be, if they haven't achieved in the year this year what are they going into in the year ahead and how they feel about that. So try and be in a position where you're starting to reflect on, yes, there might be some things that you're going into the new year that you're not feeling comfortable with, but you can change that. So just think about all of the things that maybe are a negative or things that don't make you feel good at the moment. What are you going to do to change them, to make them better for the future? So try and start to look at it from a different perspective, and what can I do next year to make a difference, instead of building up this anxiety of, I'm still in the same job and I hate being here, or I'm now this size and I don't like it and I feel uncomfortable around other people. Other people are doing this and I'm not at that stage yet in the age that I am. So try to not go, I'm not doing this. Try and think, right, okay, I'm not in the position that I thought I was going to be. What am I going to do next year to change it? And don't make it into a short goal of, I'm going to do that in January and suddenly everything's going to change. You need to plan it out for the whole year, do short-term goals as well as long-term goals, and really try and spread it out so you don't then feel anxious about overwhelming yourself. So it's trying to get that balance of pushing forward, but also kind of not feeling overwhelmed by putting too much on your plate, and then the anxiety builds and then you don't succeed and it all becomes a bit of a vicious cycle. So set plans, don't put too much pressure on yourself, and go into the year thinking, what can I change and what can I do to be better, instead of what have I not done, I've not got this, I've not got that, I'm not in this position. Because if you go into it negatively, it will just start to build on your mindset, and your mindset will start in a negative position. So try to stay as positive and focused as possible. My best tip that I would recommend would actually be to write down all of the good things and reflect on the good moments. So like I was talking about, if you've had a loss within the family, I know quite a few people where this is the first year of a proper Christmas of missing someone. So try and either journal or just write down your feelings. Sometimes it's hard to talk to others and share your feelings, but if you write it down, it makes such a difference, and you can reflect on that and you can read it back and you can keep that for the future. So it's really a nice way of almost emptying your brain to a certain degree. Sometimes a lot of us are running around with complete overwhelm, running around sorting Christmas out, and it's all a bit too much. But sometimes when you just stop, you reflect, you write down all of the wonderful moments that you're going to miss, or the things that have made such an impact on your life, you're then able to share it in your heart, and it will come out of your brain, and it will stop this overwhelming pressure of anxiety and overwhelm in your brain as well. So try and write down the good moments and the good things that have happened to you throughout the year, the people that you've met, the things that you've changed, if you've moved, or if you've got a pet, or if you've got a child, all of these wonderful things that may have come into your life. Even though you might not be in the position where you think you're perfect right now, you're moving forward, and that's the most important thing. And if you're feeling like you've not made progress, that's okay. There's time to make progress, and all you have to do is stop, reflect, plan it out, and we can push forward again. So try not to stress yourself out too much. The other things that I've put about in your reflections is reflect on what you have, the joys in your life, those that are around you, your health, your future, and always remember that you are enough. I think so many people compare themselves to others, or think that they should be in a certain situation or should be in a different place right now. You are in the place that you are, and that is enough. You can change it. You can be better. You could potentially become worse, but you are in the position that you are now, and just kind of sit with a bit of contentment for that, and just focus on what you can do to change it. And journaling, I've mentioned, eating well. So try and eat as well as you can, because having a lot of food consumption can obviously actually change your moods and your energy levels and make you feel lethargic, which actually is not great for your serotonin and your brain. So try to eat as well as you can. Plan ahead what's going on, so you don't feel overwhelmed by all of the stuff that's in the diary. Write it down. Plan your food, plan where you're going, plan who you're seeing, plan your outfits. All of that type of stuff actually helps you enjoy the moment instead of stressing about what's going to happen. So try and plan ahead if you can of all the stuff that's going on. So it can feel like such an anxious time, and it can really affect your wellness of your mindset and how you feel within yourself. So plan ahead. Be with others that make you happy. So try and ensure that if you are going to places and doing things, you're doing it with the people that make you smile and make you feel comfortable, and you can enjoy those moments. And I've said, like, go for a walk and talk with someone. So go for a walk with someone, share how you feel, talk about it. Some people sometimes feel like they're a burden on others, or people don't want to hear how they feel. But actually, so many people, and you hear it so much in the media nowadays, and a lot of other kind of initiatives that are going on, people want to help. People want to make sure that you're okay. So if you aren't feeling all right, go for a walk, get out in nature and talk to somebody. Talk on the phone, talk with someone and go for a walk together. Go and grab a coffee. It's okay to just talk to people and say how you feel, because sometimes actually as they say, a problem shared is a problem halved, and most of the time it normally is. Even if you can't change that problem, you can share it, and it actually just takes a little bit of weight off. And journaling does a very similar thing as well. If you're not feeling comfortable enough to talk about it, maybe just write it down and just get those feelings out on paper, because it does give your brain a bit of space to allow more stuff in. So just be mindful of that. You may not have it all together and all your ducks in a row, but life is a challenge, and that's what it's about. So we choose how it goes, and sometimes you might be in a position where you're really not feeling comfortable, you're really not in a position of positivity, but that can all be changed. Everything can change in a moment. And as we know quite a lot, especially over the last couple of years, life is really short. So focus on those that you want to be around. Focus on the plans that you want to make, and make that change. You can do it, no matter what it is. You can do it, and you can change it, and you are in control. Even though you might not feel like it sometimes, you can make a difference, and you can change that in your life. And sometimes you just got to kind of make that change and just go for it, and it really does make a difference. And I'm definitely a testament of that throughout this year, and that's something that I'll be reflecting on as well, about my growth in confidence and how I've become as a person throughout the last year, doing lives like this and talking about wellness and stuff. I love helping other people. So if I can share any tips that make a difference, and I really love being able to do it, even though I still feel uncomfortable going live and in front of the camera and all of that type of stuff. But if I can make a difference, I'll get out of my comfort zone to do that. So try and see it as a chance to change. See it as a challenge to yourself that you can. Life is always going to throw hurdles at you, and you've just got to be like strong mindfully to be like, right, this is just another hurdle. I've just got to get over it. I've just got to plan it differently, or my route's just taking a different road that I wasn't expecting. But it will all work itself out, and as long as you believe that, it will work itself out in the end. So if I've mentioned here, if you're in a bad place now, it will get better. It always gets better eventually. And if you are in a really bad place, please do reach out to those around you, or even myself if you don't even know me. But I would help if I can, and I would really love to support wherever possible. If you've got the feeling of loss and heartache, like I've mentioned, remember the love and the happiness that they brought. It is such a tough time for so many people, and I think you see so much of the happiness and the positivity in the families, and you'll see a lot of presents under the tree and the Santa magicalness, and sometimes you almost then feel bad that you feel sad about Christmas because you always feel so happy as well. So it's all right to have that mixture of emotions, and loss is such a hard thing to kind of go through and to allow in, and you'll be grieving for a really long time. But just remember the love and the happiness that they brought, and why you feel like that because of the love that they gave you. So it's all right to feel like that, but it's also okay for you to be happy as well and to enjoy Christmas with those that are still here and that are still around you. If you're worried about finances, presents, trying to keep up with everybody else, you have to stop doing that. So I've just put here, thoughtfulness and love is worth more than any present. So people start to go, oh, I haven't got the biggest present, or I've got to spend this amount of money because they're spending this much on me. Actually, the thoughtfulness of the gift and the love that you give with that gift is more important than any cost or value of financial substance that it has. So if you've got little children and you haven't really got a lot of money at the moment, get them to make something. Them making something for their grandparents will probably be worth more than it will be giving them a trip away or a meal away or a gift set that they're not going to use. Having something that shows love really does make a difference. So don't always put so much financial pressure on yourself, because I know it feels so hard and it's so difficult to get out of that kind of comparing yourself to others, or I'm not enough, I've not got enough, they're going to spend loads but I'm not going to be able to give that much. People give what they want to give based on, one, yes, they might have more money, but because they want to give it, not because it's about the money. So try and look at it from that angle instead of people, it's about, oh, I've got to do this and I've got to do that and we've got to be the exact same. None of us are exactly the same. We're all in different positions and we can all do different things to make Christmas magical. And as much as the presents are great, what isn't the most magical thing is actually being around the people that you love. And we're lucky that we're able to obviously enjoy that this year, especially after the last year that we've had. So just try and focus on the thoughtfulness and the love and the gift of being around and you being present for that Christmas day or those Christmas events, instead of trying to think that you have to be everything for everyone. And your mindset is the most important thing. So make sure you keep that in check and keep listening to positive things and keep telling yourself positive kind of affirmations, and it will all make such a difference. So just stop comparing yourself to others as much as you can, because it really won't, it's all it will do is actually self-sabotage yourself, because the other people won't be comparing, and if they are, they shouldn't be, I don't know, it's not they shouldn't be around you, but you shouldn't be valued by what they think, because actually they should love you for who you are, not what you bring and what size present it is. It should be about the people that are around you and the love that's around you at the family time. And if you unfortunately don't have a lot of family around you, there's friends that love you just as dearly. So just be around those people that make you happy and just reflect on all the love and happiness that's around. And if you're not in that position yet, or you've got a relationship that's broken down, maybe it's the time to reach out if that's how you feel. So go with how you feel, and just as long as you're feeling happy and content, that is the most important thing. And these are just tips and ways to just stop comparing yourself and to stop your mind overtaking yourself to enhance this anxiety and depression that might come throughout the Christmas period, because it is such a heightened event. It's all over the adverts, it's everywhere you look, and sometimes it can just feel like too much and you just want to shut yourself away and box yourself out, and you'll almost self-sabotage yourself. So try and take baby steps and just make that movement of kind of the positive stuff that's going on, and then just anything that's not, then what can we do to change it and how can that work? So I'll leave you on a couple of tips and things that I think might be helpful. Do things that bring you joy. Be around those that make you smile. Watch feel-good films, so the films that make you happy or that make you feel warm inside. Journal how you feel. So I've mentioned that already. It makes such a difference when you start journaling. Share with others. It's always good to talk, like I've already mentioned. And from a kind of foodie perspective or drinks perspective, just try to be mindful that obviously alcohol isn't a great thing if your mind is in a funny place. So alcohol is a depressant, so what it can do is it can enhance those feelings of fear, of anxiety, of depression. So if you're in that situation where your mind space is not right, try and limit the alcohol so you're not then feeling overwhelmed, because as we all know, some things happen when alcohol is involved and the truth comes out or people's emotions start to show. So if you're in a position where your mind isn't 100% there just yet, try to limit the alcohol so you don't then give yourself even more hurdles and fear from having it. Overconsumption of food. Christmas is a time for eating, as we all know, and I'm sure a lot of us will literally be feeling stuffed by the time Christmas Day evening comes. But if you're eating a lot and you're over consuming, that can also make you feel kind of, your mindset can change as well. So just be mindful of that, because it can make you feel lethargic, a little bit tired. Then you start to, again, self-sabotage yourself. Why did I eat all that? I feel like this, I don't want it, I feel bloated, blah, blah, blah. All of that will have an impact on your mindset. So just try not to overconsume if you are in a position where you're going to be starting to beat yourself up internally. Stay hydrated, so drink water so you don't get headaches. If you're obviously consuming alcohol as well, it's dehydrating. Teas and coffees are dehydrating, so always keep that water intake up. It's going to help your body obviously flush away all of the food and stuff. It's going to hydrate you so you're not feeling tired and getting headaches and overwhelmed and this kind of like fuzzy headedness. So keep the water intake up. Be present with those around you at Christmas. So when you're there at Christmas Day, try not to be on your phones and checking out what everybody else is doing, because all you're going to do is compare yourself to others. Be there, be present, enjoy the people around you, because as we know, a whole year can change so much. So just be present. Don't worry about anything else. Just worry about you and your little lot and everyone that's around you. And the last thing is to, I've just put, remember, everyone is always their biggest critic. And if you wouldn't say the things that you're saying to your brain to those that are around you, then don't say them at all. So don't be your worst critic and don't beat yourself up too much. So hopefully that has been useful. There's quite a lot of different things that I've gone through, but yeah, I just was really mindful that a lot of people have a rough time throughout Christmas. So I wanted to try and help if I can, to give some tips or ways that you can kind of feel as good as you possibly can do throughout this time. So hopefully that's been of value. And yeah, I'll catch up with you soon and I hope you have a wonderful Christmas and New Year as well.